Hey guys, today I've got a review of some new detailing brushes. These are from a company called Shiny Ride. You'll find them on Amazon. I'll put a link below if you're interested. And these are designed to get into all the nooks and crannies and wheels of your bike where you don't want to get your wash mitt to get it really dirty. These are going to be dedicated cleaning tools to certain areas of your bike. Now, I'm going to compare these to what I and probably most of you have been using, the standard detailing brush that you might find at your local auto store or Walmart. We'll see how they compare. Truth be told, I've never had a problem with this, but now that I have these in hand and see a direct comparison and really see the merits of these, the difference is quite obvious. So we'll take a look and see how they do. So I just finished washing the bike with the exception of the wheels. You can see they've got a pretty good road grime on them. Truth be told, I don't wash the wheels every time I wash the bike. Maybe every 4 or 5 times or so. They're black and they really don't look that dirty unless, like this, I've been running through the rain. Then they really show the dirt. So, what these brushes are 100% sheep wool. They are absolutely free of anything abrasive. They are very thick, solid plastic stems with rubber-coated handles. And this is nothing but sheep wool stitched over and then glued to the plastic. There's no metal whatsoever. These are very stiff. These are going to take a lot of side torsion so you can really get in there and scrub something if you need to. You've got 3 different sizes and 3 different tufts, I'm going to call it. This one is the extremely fluffy and woolly one. This is going to be great for larger parts, maybe getting around chrome bits and cylinder heads and that kinds of thing where you have a lot of surface area that you want to get to, or maybe like this, you've got a cast wheel with lots of openings, and this is going to do a nice, quick, easy job. Then you have the middle one, which is still long, and this is a very short tuft. It's denser, it's still 100% wool, but it's more of a thick paint roller. That's exactly what it feels like. It still has a little bit of a sponge because it does have the actual hide right under it. It is 100% just sheep wool glued to the stick. So it has a bit more punch, and it's going to be able to actually scrub a little bit easier and obviously get into tighter corners. And then you have a smaller one. I don't know if this will be particularly useful on a bike. Maybe you've got some parts, but it's pretty much a mix between the two. It's in between. It's not quite as short and dense, but it's very small, so very handy for getting into very tight areas. And again, same thing, just 100% sheep wool glued onto the stick. But it is smaller and it has some more flex. So it's not something you really want to crank on, but it's handy for smaller areas. Now comparing that to what I've been using and what you see all over the place, this is a plastic handle again. It has a little harder, stiff brush here that's good for sometimes getting away bits of dirt. But the actual cleaning area is not wool. It's cotton, and it's woven just like a carpet. And that's exactly what it feels like, is a shag carpet. You have individually braided and sewn in little pieces of cotton. And that's all this is. So it's still soft, there's still no metal, but it doesn't compare to the amount of hair or the amount of surface area, and certainly the softness. There's no comparison between these two materials. This is just like a carpet, and this is just like a fine wool coat. Super soft. So whether or not there's any abrasion differences on your paint, I could see it. I don't know if I've ever had a problem with this, but there is a marked difference in the quality. So that being said, what I'm hoping to see is a difference in the sudsing effect. I think I'm going to get a lot more cleaning action from these, whereas this I just use pretty much as a scrub brush, like a kitchen utensil, more so than a cleaning device. We'll see. Let's get a bucket going of suds. So I got my favorite soapy bucket going here. Nice thick suds, always important no matter what you're washing. So this is how this brush comes out. It just kind of soaks up the water. It does get quite heavy. It does actually soak up the water very quickly. And it suds up fine. Like I said, never had a problem with this. But I do notice that when I do scrub with it, it just goes completely flat. And what I end up doing is only washing with this center surface. There isn't any of the actual cotton material doing the scrubbing. See how it kind of holds its shape there with the soap? So that's why, like I said, I've pretty much use these just as a scrub brush, just to get in there and use a little bit of surface area to do the cleaning. So let's see how the actual sheepskin wool does. Now it's very important, and they do go over this in the instructions, that you always keep these nice and clean. Keep them out of direct sun when you're not using them. Dry them, keep them rinsed, clean, and out of any dirty areas, and they should last, they say, between 40 and 60 washes. We'll see. Now dipping this in, it also soaks up quite a bit of moisture. Gets very heavy. And this also holds its shape. It's more like a sponge than the cotton was. It's holding a lot more moisture just sitting there. So let's see how it scrubs. Feels about the same working like that on its surface. It still just uses that core. Let's see how it does in the wheel. Now working it around like this, it is very easy to get in there and do the whole width of the wheel at once. I can feel it molding itself to the wheel, a lot more so than the cotton fibers did. It does seem to glide over the surface a little bit easier than the cotton. It feels like it's making more contact. I don't know if that's to do with just the larger brush itself or the more surface area, but it does feel a little bit different. I'm going to try out this stiffer one here. Now this one isn't working too well for the wheel. It's not contouring nearly enough, but I could see this very useful for spokes. On the bobber, this would have been very, very handy, but this is just too big of an area for it to really do much good. End up just using the little tip here, but it's holding the soap very nicely. And to further illustrate the difference between the two, just shaking these out after rinsing them, totally normal. Auto Parts Walmart unit, broken. Extreme differences in durability. So, final thoughts. You can spend a little bit of money and get something that's going to last you a few times and do an okay job, or you can spend a little bit more money and get something that's going to last you a very long time and do an excellent job every single time. They do work as advertised, I can say that. Whether or not it's going to be important to you, well, that's up to you. There are a lot of people that take their detailing very seriously. If you're one of those, this is going to be worth your look. That's it. See you guys next time.